Okay, good evening, students. I hope you all can see my screen and also hear me. So today we are going to start the quality management module. So that is actually a common module for civil, mechanical, and electrical engineering students. So under this module, actually, we are going to discuss, the quality management related concepts and different techniques, especially about the total quality management and about different techniques and tools we can use in our real world scenarios. So what you have to do here is, although we are discussing, we have a very limited time now, so we will try to discuss more concepts under quality management, but it is your responsibility to find the way of applying these techniques in your, let's say, in your practical scenarios or else in your business world, right? So moving on to the lesson one, actually, we are trying to get a basic understanding about the quality management and the total quality management itself. So moving on to the continuous assessment. And are there any newcomers here, new intake students here? Are there any new intake students here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so as we are first meeting today, so I'm Malsha Madhwanti, who is the lecturer of this course module, because other students obviously know me because I have already taught them. So I will complete this module, right? Yeah, so moving on to the continuous assessments. So same as the previous module, same as the other modules. We will take 40% out of 100 based on your assignments. So most probably you will be having maximum 2 assignments, 1 or 2 assignments per module. So we will calculate 40% out of the out of 100, considering your assessment. And also you will be having in semester written examination. Probably that would be a physical examination, and online platform is only applicable for the abroad students who are working abroad. So from the end semester examination, we will calculate 60% out of 100. So you can obtain 40% from the assessment. So please strictly adhere to the deadlines. Don't go for late submission because we will deduct mark from the late submission. So, I recommend you to follow the guidelines and the deadlines we are given. We will be giving you. So, yes, so that is about the continuous assessments. And these are some common references you can use for this quality management module. But other than these three here, I have mentioned only three the references based on the syllabus you have. So other than these references, you can refer any other materials, any other sources you can refer, right? You can simply Google and find many more theories and the concepts. Even you can search more about the concepts we are discussing here to get more understanding and more idea about the concepts we are discussing under this module, right? So yeah, so these are the learning outcomes. So at the end of this module, you will be able to understand the term quality and the quality management. So, and also we will discuss the dimensions of quality under this first chapter. And we will discuss uh, the evolution of the quality management, starting from the quality assurance, quality controlling, and so on. Up to the total quality management, we will discuss the evolution of the quality management process. And especially we will discuss the difference between effectiveness and the efficiency in terms of the quality when it comes to the business world, right? So those are the things we are going to cover. And yeah, so then moving on to the first one, first we need to understand the quality. What is mean by quality? Right? Before we go through this lesson, first we should know, okay, what is mean by the quality and what is mean by quality management. So can someone tell me, as per your idea, what is mean by quality? Can someone define the term? Anyone? Any volunteer? Any volunteer? What is mean by quality?
The improvement of the product.
Hmm.
Is that okay?
Okay. What about the others? Product and service meet the customer requirements. Okay.
Yeah.
Answers? Yes, Nifas. Nifnas, right? Mm. What about the others? At least you can put the answer on chat box. If you don't like to talk with me, you can put the answer on chat box. Okay, so quality means actually we can define the quality in different terms. Like, person to person, the definition for the quality may be different because we see the quality of a certain product or service in different angles, right? Sometimes particular product can satisfy my requirements, but they will not satisfy your requirements. So as per the requirements we have, we can define the quality in different ways. So basically quality means that is the ability of a product or as a service to meet or else exceed the customer expectation, right? We can satisfy while meeting the customer requirement or customer expectations using our product and services. Or on the other hand, we can even exceed the customer expectation. That means we can satisfy them or else we can delight them. If we, go beyond their expectation, if we can exceed the customer expectation using our product and services, that means we make them delight, right? Not just the satisfaction. So we can do both of these things using our product or service. So that ability of our product or service to meet or exceed their requirement is what we mean by the quality itself, right? That is the ability of certain product or service to meet or exceed the customer expectation, right? So this means that when you buy something in a, let's say in a grocery shop or something, so you expect them to work properly and you expect that product to be reliable. And also you expect that product to serve their purpose well at the end of the day. That is what actually we are looking for once we buy a product or once we obtain a service from a service provider, right? That is what we mean by the quality. So if it meets your expectation, you can say that it is a good quality product. If that service satisfy your expectation, if they meet or exceed your expectation, you can say that, okay, that certain service is a good quality service, right? So that is how we simply define the quality. And another way of defining the quality is how well the product or service fulfill the customer requirements and the customer expectation. How well your product fulfill the customer requirement. For an example, let's say when we go to buy a phone, let's say, imagine you are buying a mobile phone and you expect it to have a good battery life and you expect it to have a clear camera and high quality camera and high features, and you are looking for some smooth performance once you buy a mobile phone. So if the both mobile phone meet all these requirements you have, then we can say that it is a high quality one. If that certain product, that mobile phone you bought from a shop, if they do not meet the requirements you have, then we will say that that is not a good quality one, that is a poor quality product. So that is how we define the quality in our view, right? So quality is very important because it makes the customers happy. Using the quality itself, we can make our customers happy. We can make our customers, we can build a trust in between customer and our company. And also it helps the businesses to be success at the end of the day. If you are having satisfied customers, if you have a long lasting relationship, or as if you have a trust, right, a good trust between you and the company and the customers, that means you are in a good position, right? You can be success at the end of the day if you have satisfied customers. So through this quality and the quality management, or whatever the things we are discussing here, we are trying to satisfy our customers while fulfilling their requirements and the expectations, right? If a company produce poor quality products, what can be happen? Customers will complain. And also so many returns may be there, returning products may be there. And the worst thing is they will stop buying the products or services from you, right? That is the worst case. So quality, very simply, quality means giving the customers what they expect from us, or even something better than they expect. That is what we are trying to do under this quality and the quality management. Right? Quality කියන එක අපිට එක එක විදිහට define කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම quality මොකක් හරි product එකක quality කියලා දකින්න එක නෙවෙයි. මෙතන ඉන්න අනිත් students ලා ඒ product එක අපි එකම product එක purchase කරත් අපි ඒකේ quality එක දකින්න විදිය වෙනස්. අපේ expectations එක අපි quality එක දකින්න විදිය වෙනස්. Right? I may looking for better battery life once we buy a mobile phone. But someone else in this class may looking for a clear camera instead of the battery life. Or someone else may looking for smooth performance than the battery life and the clear camera. So that is how our expectations are working. So based on our expectation, we can define the quality. Right? If I'm looking for battery life, better battery life, if the purchase product satisfy that expectation, without looking at the camera and the performance, I can say that, okay, that is a quality product. If you are looking for a better camera than the battery life and the performance, you can, while looking at the battery life, the camera, you can say that, okay, that is a good quality product, good quality mobile phone, without looking at the battery life and the performance. Right? That is how it works. So here you can see, we can divide the quality into two main categories, right? The quality of design and the quality of conformance. Quality of design and the quality of conformance. So that is the two main parts we can identify. So we will discuss them in detail. So moving on to the quality of design. Have you ever heard about quality of design and the quality of conformance? Are there anyone who have learned or at least heard these two terms? Quality of design and the quality of conformance. Okay, fine. What about the others? Always Nafeel and I think Nifnaz is answering the questions. What about the others? Okay, fine. So I will explain the concept, two concepts, right? So mainly we are going to discuss more concepts under this module, right? Those are concepts. So yes, fine. We will discuss those two. The first one is quality of design. So it is the quality which the producer or supplier is intending to offer to the customers. That is like the initial stage of initial stage of our production, right? The designing part. So quality of the design refers to the level of the quality that the certain producer or certain supplier plans to offer to their customers. right? මොනවාද ඔයාගේ producer එහෙම නැත්නම් supplier plan කරන්නේ customer ට දෙන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ plan කරන design එකේ quality එක තමයි quality of design කියන්නේ, right? So it is about how well your product is designed in order to meet the customer needs and the customer expectation. We mainly focus on the designing part here. So before making the product, companies decide on their features and they decide on their performance and they decide on their expected quality, right? The overall quality itself, they will define, right? That is what we focus on, the quality of design. So for an example, if you have a car manufacturing company, so when a car company design a new model, they decide on the things like the engine power and the safety features, and they can even decide the comfort level, right? The fuel efficiency and the additional features they are going to add, the quality of the overall product. So they can decide in the initial stage. So all these decisions affect the quality of the design of that new car model. So that is how we define the quality of design. So imagine you are designing a new smartphone. So before the manufacturing process, you should decide, okay, how powerful the processor should be at the end of the project. And you should decide what type of cameras should be used. And you should decide how strong the battery should be in your smartphone. Please kindly ignore the background noises. And also, if you are going to design a new smartphone, first you should decide whether, okay, it should be waterproof or not, right? What materials you are going to use for the body part, whether it is plastic or metal or glasses, or what are the materials that you are going to use in order to satisfy the customers, right? That is what we do under quality of designing before the manufacturing process. So all these decisions determine the quality of design itself, right? If the design is poor, no matter how well the product is manufactured, your customers may not like it. They may not tend to buy it if you are having a poor design, right? So, but if the design is an excellent one, customers will be satisfied and they may even pay more for the products in your company. Right? ඔයා කොච්චර හොඳ manufacturing output එකක් දුන්නත් වැඩක් නැහැ. ඔයාගේ design එක හොඳ design එකක් නෙවෙයි නම්. Quality design එකක් නෙවෙයි නම්. Right? So we should focus on the quality of the design first before we move to the manufacturing part. Right? So reason for that is, you know, a well-designed product can attract more customers, right? Because if we start a business, that means we always try to attract more customers than our competitors. So for that, we always try to maintain the quality, right? Whether it is in the design, whether it is in the final product. So in any phases, we are trying to maintain the quality itself to attract more customers. And also, if you are having high quality design, it helps you to charge some higher prices as well, right? Because your satisfied customers may pay more for the products, right? Even you are offering premium prices, so they will tend to buy it while considering the quality of your products. And if you're having a good design, you can reduce the customer complaints and even the customer returns as well. Because if you have let's say, having a quality of design means you are having, you know, defect. I mean, you are developing, you are manufacturing products without having defects or with minor defects, right? That means you can reduce the customer complaints and the customer response. So if you have a poor design, sometimes defects may be manufactured in your production process. So if you transfer them to the customers without having any testing or investigations, so many customer returns and the complaints may be happen. So that is a problem. So if you are having a good design, you can reduce that issues, you can reduce the customer complaints. And as a result of that, you can maintain a good position in the market while competing better with the competitors and while having the competitive advantage. Because poor design lead to have production failures, no matter how well it is manufactured. Product failures can be happen due to the poor design. So we can minimize those type of errors using this quality of focusing on this quality of design. Right? Quality of design එකේදී අපි design එක තමයි focus කරන්නේ. අපි කියන්නේ product එක කරන්න කලින් අපි customers ලව satisfy කරන්න මෙන්න මේ වගේ qualities add කරනවා මේ වගේ features add කරනවා නේ designing part එකේ quality එක maintain කරන එක තමයි quality of design කියන්නේ. So actually under this quality of designing we always try to satisfy our customers, right? If your product does not meet the customer requirements or customer needs, then no matter how well it is built at the end of the production process, people won't buy it, right? So this is why manufacturers always, they should carefully understand the customer expectation before designing a product, right? Before designing your product or service, first, the manufacturer need to identify the customer expectation. Once you identify the customer expectation, then you can design it. Otherwise, although we are designing a product, we can't satisfy them. අපි customers ලාගේ expectation එක දන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි මොන විදිය design එකක් කරත් අපිට ඒගොල්ලව satisfy කරන්න බෑ. Right? For an example, imagine a company wants to design let's say a new laptop. So they must ask, okay, what do the customers need? But really they are requesting from us, right? Whether it is a long battery life or whether it is high speed performance or whether it is the other features of the laptop, right? Whether it is regarding the storage facilities. And you should check whether, okay, what are the problems do customers face in real world scenario, right? That may be due to slow processors of the laptops. That may due to, let's say, overheating of the laptops, or maybe they may face some problems with the short battery lifetime. So those are the common problems we are facing when we use a laptop. So the manufacturer should study them. Before they're going for a designing part of the new model, they should study the problems the customers are facing, and also they should check the customer requirements, what they really need from us, right? And also the manufacturer should evaluate the features that will make the product better for the customers, right? You can focus on the touch screen, you can focus on the fast charging facilities, you can focus on the adding extra storage facilities. Likewise, the features, right? We can focus on the features that we can add to, improve the performance of the laptop and to satisfy the customers while meeting their expectations. So by considering these type of points, right, I have just pointed out few things. So by considering these type of things, we can create a product that fits the need of the customers, right? And also we can provide the better experiences for the customers. So if we are having a well-designed product, right, that is not just about the look of the product. Right? A well-designed product, sometimes we feel like, okay, that is just the look of the product or as the appearance of the product. But it is go beyond of that. It is about how we made the customer needs accurately and efficiently. It is not just about the look of the product. Right? අපි design එක කියන්නේ ඒකේ look එක විතරක් නෙමෙයි, appearance එක විතරක් නෙමෙයි. අපි එතනින් එහාටත් හිතන්න ඕනේ design එකක් කරන්න. So as engineers, you should create some technical drawings as well, right? Before you go for a manufacturing part, you should technically draw the design and you should show exactly how the product should be made at the end of the production process, right? Some specifications are there which we are looking for, which we are looking to develop at the end of the process. That means the specifications means the detailed instructions about the product materials, product sizes and the weight of the products, and you can give some detailed instructions about the performance which you are looking for and the features. So everything you can add under the product specification. You can add detailed instructions when you're going to design a product. So if you are having a well-prepared catalogs, or if you are having well-prepared manuals, then the product can follow them. So product with clear documentation, these catalogs and the manuals and the user guides. So they help the customers to understand the features they have, and they can understand even how to use the product effectively. If you can give a documentation part like catalogs and the manuals and the user guides, you can even design them as well in terms of the quality of design. So everything in the designing process must focus on what the customers are expecting from us, what they are really need, and what about their really expectations. So we should focus on that in each and every aspect of this designing process. That is what we are focusing on, the quality of design. So as per the few studies, there are mainly common 8 steps in the quality of design. So I have stated the source here. You can even refer it. So as for this source, actually we have 8 steps in quality of design. So it usually start with market research and requirement analysis for the customers, and then creating the design specification. Then the third one is the product's preliminary design, and the fourth one is review of the design, and then the production and the assessment of the prototype. And then the sixth activity is creating the product specs and also manufacturing drawings. Then before the last step, we should go for a pilot run, right? The pilot production run and the design modification should be done. And finally, the eighth step is design release for the large scale manufacturing. That is how actually we go through this quality of design. So first one is market research and the requirement analysis for the customers. So before designing a product, companies needs to understand what the customers want, right? So this is done through the market research. That may include the customer surveys. We can conduct customer surveys to identify their requirements, right? To identify their dislikes or likes or dislikes about the existing products. You can ask the people what they are really need. You can ask the people what they are looking for and what they like to add, what are the features they are looking for. You can do some surveys in terms of the customer expectations. And also other than that, we can conduct competitors analysis as well under market research, right? Other than the customer surveys, we can conduct competitive analysis as well. You can study what the other companies are offering in your same industry, right? If you are a car manufacturer, let's say, so you can conduct a competitive analysis while studying what the other car manufacturers in the same industry are offering. Right? What are the new features they are offering? What are the technologies they are using? What are the new techniques they are using? Right? So what about the prices? What about the design of those competitors? You can study the competitors even in the competitors competitive analysis at this first stage. And also another important thing is we should identify the industry trends as well. We should identify the new technologies available. And if you are using outdated technologies, although you are having a perfect design, your customers will not come and they will not buy your products. They always go for the other competitors instead of coming to your company if you are using outdated technologies. So you should use the new technologies. For that, you should identify the industry trends in terms of the new technologies. And also you should identify the features that customers may need from your products. So you should identify the industry trends. So these type of things actually we can understand through a effective and well-organized market research, right? We can conduct interviews, we can conduct online surveys, or we can analyze the industry data, right? We can analyze the patterns, right? We can study the new technologies. We can do some requirement analysis using surveys, or you can even collect the customer feedbacks as well, right? Likewise, we can conduct a market research and to identify the customer requirements and the competitive analysis. And then moving on to the second stage, that is where we create the design specification. So I told you that design specification means that is the detailed instructions about the features and the functionalities and the performance you are going to add. So once the market research is done, then you have to design, you have to create a design specification document while including the features and the functionalities that you are going to add, right? You should explain, okay, what the product should be able to do at the end of the manufacturing process. And you should explain how well it should work at the end of the day. The performance expectations should be added. And if you are having special material requirements and the cost considerations, everything you can add under design specification. What type of materials should be there? And what about the fundings? What about the cost considerations? Everything we include in this detailed instructions. So then moving on to the third stage, that is where we develop the product's preliminary design, right? That is the first draft of the product, right? Once you complete the first two steps, then sorry, you can develop the first draft drawing of the product. So engineers and the designers usually create this draft of the products, right? And the sketch diagrams should be drawn. So the basic drawings of how the products will look, and you should decide where each part will go and what kind of features you are going to add. So initial technical designing part should be completed at the third stage. And even you can design the rough model, right? Using softwares or let's say 3D printing, or else you can use any 3D development or any softwares, right? You can use to create a sample, right? The rough model you can develop at the third stage. And then the fourth one is review of the design. So now once you complete the preliminary design, then it should be reviewed, right? It should be reviewed to ensure that the certain rough model meet the customer expectations, right? You should check whether it follows the safety standards. You should check whether it follows the quality standards or not, right? You should check whether it is a cost-effective one or not for the manufacturing part. So in terms of the quality standards and the cost-related things and the safety-related standards, and especially in terms of the customer expectations, you should review the preliminary design you developed at the third stage. Then moving on to the fifth stage, that is where we conduct the production and the assessment of the prototype, right? So at this stage, what we do is a prototype should be built and that prototype should be tested, right? That is the early version of the product, right? After the rough model, once we complete the assessment part and the reviews, then we can go for the production of the early version of the product. So that is what we mean by prototypes. We can develop the prototype and we can test it, right? You can have a look on the design flows and you can check the possible improvements that can be done. You can refer to the user feedbacks before you go for a mass production, right? Initially, we should go for a small production with the early version of the products, not going for the mass production. අපි එකපාරට mass production එකට යන්නේ නැහැ. අපි prototype එක test කරලා බලන්න ඕන. Right? So then moving on to the sixth step, that is where we create the product specs and the manufacturing drawing. Right? Initially, we developed the rough model or sketches. right? The using softwares and 3D printing, we develop the sketches, the preliminary design. Then moving on to the sixth step, we should draw the manufacturing drawing, right? You should create the product specifications and the manufacturing drawing. So once the prototype is approved, so then engineers can create their detailed specifications and detailed drawing, the manufacturing drawing for the mass production. Right? So this is the place where you design and complete the drawing for the manufacturing drawings and the detailed specifications for the manufacturing drawing for the mass production. Right? That is what actually what you are going to manufacture. Right? Exact measurements of the each component should be there. And all the assembly instructions for the workers and all the assembly instructions for the machines, so everything should be there. And if you are having any quality control checklist or so on, you can add it, you can develop it at this sixth step. Then the seventh one is a pilot production run and design modifications. And now when you move to the seventh step, you have completed the manufacturing drawing which affect for the mass production. Then you can run a pilot run. You can go for a pilot production run and you can identify any design modification required and you can complete them. So before a full scale production, usually companies run a small batch, a small pilot production to testing, right? To check how well the manufacturing process work, to check if there are any defects or if there are any errors in our manufacturing process, to check whether if there are any errors in our manufacturing drawings, to check whether if the product meet the quality standards and the safety standards or not, we can go for a pilot production run. If any problems are found, then the modifications can be done. So main target of this pilot run is check the design and do the modifications required. Then finally, we go for the designing part and the release for the large scale manufacturing. So after everything is tested and after everything is finalized, then the product design is approved for the full production. So then factories can begin the mass production of the products and you can officially launch it in the market. So that is how the steps of the quality of design goes, right? Okay. So now we know the benefits and the way of following the quality of design. So here I have just pointed out some drawbacks of having poor quality and the negative things that you can may lead to have in your business world if you are having some poor quality design or poor quality products. Can you give me 2 minutes, please? Sorry. So, so moving on to the poor quality issues. So that may lead to have the reworking, right? Reworking means we have to pay on cost of fixing the defective items. So if your product is not made correctly the first time, then the company must go for, they must fix the errors, fix the issues, fix the defects before they're selling the products. So this process is called as reworking. Before you move your products to the customers, you should fix the errors, right, before you sell them. So it takes high labor cost, right, and also the material cost as well, and it is actually unnecessary work. So that happens due to having poor design or poor manufacturing activities, right? Due to that, some of the reworking or defective items you can find out. So then it increases the labor cost, right? Your workers must spend extra time to fix the mistakes. And also it increases the material cost as well. Sometimes new parts should be added. Sometimes you have to remove the existing parts. Sometimes you can do some reworks to the existing part and fix it. So anyways, it is an unnecessary material cost. And if you find out some defective products, so that slow down your production and the delivery time. That is a big problem. So that happens due to having poor quality in your designing and the manufacturing part. So, and the replacement should be done sometimes. So that means the cost of giving new products to the customers. That is another way of, fixing the defective items and the poor quality items. So if a defective product reach to the customers, then companies often provide the replacement, right? If some of the defective product reach to the customers, so they will return it and they will complain. So then companies have to provide a replacement, or sometimes refunds should be done. There are some cases we can go for a replacement, but there are some cases we can't go for a replacement, let's say due to having some, out of stock items or so. We had to go for the refunds. So these things are unnecessary cost for the company. If, this means that the producing an extra product to cover the failure one, that is actually a waste in terms of the effort, in terms of the money, in terms of the time you have, right? It is a waste. So it increased the logistic and shipping cost as well, because you should transport it separately to the customer in order to fix that identified problem. And it creates the customer frustrations because they must wait for the replacement. That may lead to have some losses, right? That losses may be in terms of the customers, in terms of the trust in between you and the customer. And also that will be highly affected for the customer satisfaction and the customer loyalty as well, right? Sometimes you have to give back the total money to the customers. Sometimes half refundings can be done. There are some cases full refunding should be done. So in some cases, instead of offering a replacement, you must issue a refund to fix the issues you identify. So this is actually a direct financial loss to your company, because your company lost both the product and the money, right? You lost the product itself and the money. So that is a big loss, big financial loss, a direct financial loss for your company, right? If you can identify too many refunds in your business process, so that can damage the company reputation as well. If you receive so many customer complaints and the customer returns, that may highly impact to your company's reputation and the level of your company in the market, right? And due to having these defective, poor quality means you are having defective items, right? So that means it goes to have a cost of waste materials, because sometimes we have to do some reworks or we have to dispose the materials. So everything we have to do, and that comes under waste materials, right? Poor quality often lead to have a waste. That means the materials and the time and the labor. So everything are waste at the end of the day if you are having poor quality items or defective items. So some products cannot be fixed, right? There are some products that cannot be resolved. There are some product that has to be, destroyed or disposed. So this increase the production cost and even it harms to the environment as well. So if you have a look on these poor quality things and the defective items in different angles, so you can only identify the waste and the problems that harm the environment, that harm the company, that destroy the company's reputation, that lost the company's financial side. So everything comes under the losses and the waste. So if you lost the customers due to having this poor quality, that is the worst case, right? If you are having poor quality items and the defective item, you may lose your customers and you may lose your customer loyalty. Right? Satisfied customers la adu වෙනවා කියන්නේ loyal customers la adu වෙනවා කියන්නේ. Right? If you lose customers means it will highly affect your sales. If the customers receive low quality products, so they will stop buying from your company. If the customers receive low quality products, so they tell others about their bad experiences. You know that in let's say, especially in marketing, and not only in marketing, in business world, actually the positive word of mouth. Just forget about the positive. Word of mouth is a powerful tool when it comes to the marketing and the business scenarios, right? Especially positive word of mouth can influence the other customers in the market. That positive word of mouth happens once you satisfy the customers. If you are having satisfied customers, they will always spread the positive word of mouth. But let's say due to having this poor quality and the defective items, right, you can't even satisfy them. So then they are having, they do not satisfy, they dissatisfied about your products and they are having bad experiences. So they spread negative word of mouth. They tell their bad experiences to the other community or other customers. So that is a problem when it comes to the manufacturing industry, right? They always, if the certain customers spread their bad experiences and negative word of mouth, so the other customers also try to switch to the competitor's brand instead of coming to your company or your, let's say, your manufacturing location. So once the customers lost their trust, it is very hard to win them back, right? Due to having these issues, if you lost their trust, it is not easy for you to rebuild it, right? We can simply destroy the trust. We can simply lose the trust. But the thing is, it is really hard to rebuild it and win them back. That is the problem. That is the actual problem we have when it comes to this poor quality and the defective items. So companies that do not focus on the quality, they will eventually lose the market shares as well. Customers are lost, කියන්නේම market එකේ තියෙන position එක අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද ඔයාලගේ customers ලා loss වෙනවා කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම competitive brands වලට යනවා. competitors ලගේ brands වලට යනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ company එකට තියෙන market shares අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අඩු වෙනවා. So that is usually what happens if you are producing poor quality products, low quality products, or defective items, right? Those are some drawbacks in terms of the poor quality. Right. So now you know you have some sort of idea about the quality of designing. So moving on to the quality of conformance. So it is different than the quality of design. The quality of design, we focus on, okay, what the design stage, what we are going to issue, what we are going to offer to our customers. So when it comes to the quality of conformance, it is the level of quality of the product actually produced and delivered as per the specifications or the design. That is what we mean by quality of conformance. It refers to how well your product meet the intended designs you have and intended specifications you have. Once you build the real product and once you produce the actual products, how well that actual products meet the intended design and the specification. So very simply, it is about how closely your product match the plan standards and the requirements set by the design team. Right? Quality of conformance එකේදී අපි focus කරන්නේ කොච්චර දුරකට වාගේ actual product එක initial standards එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි designing stage එකේදී අපි plan කරපු standards meet කරනවද නැද්ද කියන එක තමයි quality of conformance එකේදී අපි බලන්නේ. So when we talk about the quality of conformance, we focus on whether our product has been made correctly or not, right? As per the specification and without having too much defects. That is what we are focusing on, the quality of conformance. So when a product has excellent quality of conformance, it means that it was manufactured perfectly and it was produced exactly as they plan in the designing stage. Every part of the product aligned perfectly with the design specification if you achieve the quality of conformance. That means it fully satisfied what was originally intended in our initial standards or initial intended design. So this is actually the key part of ensuring that the customers are satisfied, because we can guarantee that our product will perform as expected. And we can guarantee that our product meet the needs of the certain users. So that is the major importance of this quality of conformance, right? If you are having high level of quality of conformance, you can reduce the defects, you can reduce the returns, right? And also no need to have some reworks. You can reduce the need for the reworks, which ultimately lead for the cost of loss of the money and needs to have some, reduce the customer, bad experiences, and at the end of the day, you can have some higher customer trust, and even you can save your money, even you can save your cost, and you can reach the profit margin if you are having high level of quality of conformance, right? So this is a small example to give you the idea about the quality of design and the quality of conformance. So I have taken an example from civil engineering field to designing of the new residential building. So in the context of engineering, actually, we usually do some designing and the modification part. Now you are always try to, fix the problems in the society while developing a machine, while developing some new concepts, right? While developing civil engineers, they always try to develop some sustainable building and new concepts. You are always trying to produce to satisfy the customers and to meet the unmet needs in the industry, in the community. So while using this example, designing a new residential building, so when it comes to quality of design, so this phase usually happens at the start of the project, right? Usually the residential building development, that is like a project now. So quality of design start with it usually happens at the starting point of the project. So where the initial planning take place. And during this stage, actually, usually the engineering team, they focus on gathering all necessary requirements, right? For an example, they will determine how many units of the building will have and what are the layout preferences they are. And how about the energy efficiency the building should be at the end of the project. And you can even search for the styles the customers are looking for, right? So likewise, you can consider the designing part. So they also need to make sure that the certain building complies with the, the quality standards and the ethical side and the local building standards and the safety standards as well. So in this quality of designing phase, the building team and the engineering team, they might innovate, they can even innovate the things like They can incorporate with the modern architectural design, right? They can even use some sustainable materials. They can even plan for some energy efficient systems in their building development. So quality of design here is about creating a detailed description, detailed blueprint for your new project that meet all the needs and all the expectations before you are going for the construction part, right? So that is what happened in design, the quality of design, if you are going to design a new residential building. So when it comes to the quality of conformance, it focuses on the execution phase, right? Once the initial design has been approved, and then you can start the construction part. So usually when it comes to quality of conformance, we focus on how well the actual execution match with the design specification. For an example, the construction team will ensure that they are using high quality materials that meet the standards set in the designing stage. And they will follow the best construction practices, such as making sure everything built accordingly to the blueprint. Everything will be built according to the standards, quality standards, safety standards, and local engineering codes or so on. And you can even conduct regular inspections as well. The testing part can be done during this quality of conformance stage, right? To check whether you are stick to the initial intended design. So usually the quality of conformance is about like focusing on the execution phase while ensuring that our product itself meet the design standards without having any defects or deviations in our manufacturing or construction process. So that is a small example to give you the idea about quality of design and the quality of conformance, right? Okay, now you know more about the quality, right? The quality of design, quality of conformance, the drawbacks of the poor quality. So some sort of idea you have. Now we are going to discuss the quality management. Another term, quality management. So quality management, usually it is a process. Right? It is a systematic process in which we used to oversee all the activities and all the tasks within the organization that are really necessary to maintain the desired level of excellence in our production and the service processes. So it may usually involves with continuous effort to ensure that our final product and let's say our final output, they consistently meet the required standards. That is why we follow the quality management process. Right? We are trying to manage the quality throughout our manufacturing process. And at the end of the day, we are trying to meet the consistent standards in our final outputs. That is what we are trying to do under quality management. So our main target here is to make sure that our products and the services meet or exceed the customer expectation. So we can ensure that we are having the customer satisfaction and we can even help the organization to remain competitive in the market or so on, right? There are many more benefits if we follow the quality management practices. So to achieve these targets, right? We are having many more targets on the quality management. So achieve this in an effective way, we must carefully plan and execute the quality related strategies. So these strategies may usually include with the quality planning and the quality controlling, quality assurance, right? The quality improvement. So everything we should do under quality management. This is not a one-time work, right? A continual effort should be there under quality management. Quality planning means that is like which defines what quality means, quality planning. That defines what quality means for a certain product or services, right? How it can be achieved at the end of the production. So we usually plan the quality and then we take some actions to control the quality. So we have to conduct the continuous monitoring part and we have to measure the processes as well to ensure the output is consistent and is within the specified limits. You know, when it comes to quality control, we use some statistical techniques as well to analyze the quality. Right? We have in this quality controlling, we have some quality related limits. Upper control limits, lower control limits. Likewise, we have quality related limits, specific limits. So while conducting the measurement part and the monitoring part, we can check whether we are within the specified limits or not. And we can assure the quality as well. We should focus on the quality assurance as well, while having a look on the overall system to prevent the defects and also to prevent the issues before they happen. We should assure the quality. We can develop some standards as well in terms of the quality to assure the quality. And finally, actually, we should improve the quality. That means continual effort should be there. I told you that this is not a one-time work. A continual effort should be there to solve the problems, to increase the efficiency over time, to minimize the defects, right? To have a look on the production processes and ensure the quality. So we should improve the quality like a continual effort. So that is what happened in the quality management, right? So it is not just about maintaining the product quality, right? Sometimes we feel like, okay, quality means means how well your product meet the expectations. And when it comes to quality, we feel like, okay, it is about maintaining the product quality. But it is not just about maintaining the quality. It is about creating a very comprehensive system that include all the aspects of the quality. That may be like developing the policies to ensure the quality. You can even set some quality related objectives, right? You can, clearly allocate the resources, and you can clearly allocate the responsibilities for the each workers. So it is like a system. We are trying to develop a comprehensive system through this quality management systematic process, right? So that is why I told you that it is not just about maintaining the product quality. It goes beyond of that, right? We are trying to maintain the high quality products and the high quality services while optimizing the efficiency and the effectiveness of the system. So under quality management, actually, we should take actions to optimize the efficiency and the effectiveness. So we will discuss about those two terms later. Yes. So then I'm not sure whether you have studied total quality management. So that is actually the modern version of the quality management. Initially, we have the quality management, quality controlling, quality assurance, and so on. But now in modern world, we have total quality management. That is like an advanced version of quality management, right? So there is a separate lesson for total quality management, I think. Just remember that TQM, we simply call it as TQM. So under TQM also, we are trying to maintain the quality with continual effort, and also especially on the total quality management, we always try to get the, the engagement of the total employees. Everyone in the organization should engage with the quality management practices. That is one aspect of the total quality management. And on a total quality management, we mainly especially focus on the customer satisfaction. We focus on the customer expectation. And the employee empowerment should be there. Full employee engagement should be there. And the continual effort, we always try to continuously improve our processes under total quality management, right? So to manage the quality in any business or any production process, so we are having like a process, let's say. So first we should describe the user requirements, and then we should focus on the product features and the characteristics, and then we should have some measurable quality attributes. That is how we can manage the quality. So this is like a process. So in this process, to manage the quality, one of the first important step is to describe user requirement, right? What does the product's users need? So this involves how we identify exactly what the product users need from us. So we should understand their requirements. So understanding this need is very important, very crucial, as it helps the manufacturer or else the organization to design the products that align with the customer expectation. For an example, if your user need a smartphone with long battery life, let's say, then the manufacturer must incorporate that feature into their design in order to meet the requirements. That is how first we identify the requirements and then we go for the designing part. Then the second step is product features and the characteristics. The manufacturer's usage of product specification. So product features and the characteristics means it refers to the specific aspects of the products that define their functionality, that defines their appearance, that define their usability or so on. That is how we explain the product specification. So this may include the element like the size of the product, the color of the product, like the performance of the product, and the weight of the product. So likewise, we can add the features and the characteristics. And then the last one is measurable quality attributes, right? Measurable quality attributes means then we have the like the features of the products that can be quantified and that can be determined whether our product meet the quality standards, some specific standards or not. So this attribute can be the things like the thickness of the material, or else weight of the product, or else we can see temperature resistance of the components, right? Or else the resolution of the camera lens. Like us, we can have measurable quality attributes. So a measurable quality attribute is very important because it provides the objective data that can be confirmed whether the certain feature is either presented in our product or absent in the product. Right? අපේ product එකේ feature එක තියනවද නැද්ද කියන එක check කරන්න මේ වගේ measurable attributes තියෙන එක ගොඩක් important වෙනවා. Right? It helps us to assess if the product is up or not, whether the quality goal have been met or not. To do that, we can have measurable quality attributes, right? So that is how we manage the quality. So this is like few examples to identify these requirements and the characteristics and the attributes. So you can refer this. I'm not going to discuss this example. You can read it and understand. Yes. So then, importance of having quality management. So can you tell me some of the example, at least few, one or two benefits of having quality management? We discussed about the quality. So then when it comes to quality management, what are the benefits we can gain through having the quality management practices? Through the quality management, what we can do? What is the importance of having quality management? What is the importance of having the quality management and what we can achieve through quality management? nuances. Okay, so moving on to the importance of quality management. So we can give the customer satisfaction with more customer value. That means that is actually one of the primary goal of this quality management. We can ensure that the product or else the service meet or exceed the customer expectation. That is our ultimate goal, right? So by focusing on the quality, we can provide more value to our customers, right? We can make sure that our end product and our end service not only satisfy, but also delight them. I told you that we can satisfy the customers or else we can delight them, right? If you meet the expectation, that means you satisfy them. If you can exceed the expectation, that means you delight them, right? Satisfy කරනවට වඩා එහාට ගිහිල්ලා අපිට පුළුවන් delight කරන්න. So we can make sure that our products and the service satisfy or else delight our customers, because the satisfied customers are more likely to return, right? And also they recommend the brand to the others. They will recommend your brand to the others, and they will usually contribute to the business's long-term success as well. That is actually the major benefit we can gain through these quality management practices, right? And then we can improve and continuous improvement of the process, right? Quality management, that is not a one-time effort. I told you that it is not a one-time effort. It is an ongoing, continuous process. So by implementing a culture of this continuous improvement, we can enhance our processes over time, and we can enhance our processes, like we can make them more efficient in our operations. We can reduce the waste as well. We can increase the overall productivity, overall efficiency we can improve. If we stick to the quality management practices. So this continuous improvement help us to stay ahead in the competition, and to gain the competitive advantage over our competitors. We can gain that benefit as well, while keeping our operations streamlined throughout the manufacturing process, and we can ensure that the products and the services remain high quality at the end of the day, right? If we are offering high quality products, we can stay ahead in the competitive industry, competitive market, and we can win the competition, right? And through this quality management, another benefit is we can manage the risk as well. If you are having effective quality management practices, it will help you to identify the potential risk factors in advance. You can identify them earlier on the production and the delivering processes, so service delivering processes or so on. You can identify the potential risk factors in advance. So then you can manage them effectively if you have the idea before that happens. So by managing the risk, organization can avoid some costly mistakes that can happen, and especially they can ensure the safety as well throughout their manufacturing and production processes. And they can reduce the chances of having defects and having failures in their manufacturing processes. So this is like actually a proactive approach. The quality management, it works as a proactive approach. So when it comes to the risk management, right, we can maintain the product consistency throughout the processes, and we can protect the reputation of the company as well. And then another benefit is we can gain the competitive advantage. So you know that in each and every industry, there is a big competition, And even though you are working in engineering field, let's say civil engineering, mechanical engineering, there is a big competition in the same industry, right? So we can use these quality management practices to gain the competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means performing, that is how we perform better than our competitors. Then only we can gain the competitive advantage over our competitors. Right? So organization that focus on delivering high quality products or as high quality services, they always stand out in the market. Right? Quality management help any businesses to maintain high standards in the industry. So which can be a key difference or let's say key differentiating factor from their competitors. Right? So companies can consistently meet the customer expectation for the quality, and they are more likely to build a strong brand reputation. And also you can even attract more loyal customers. So then you can achieve the competitive advantage in the marketplace. Right? Our competitive advantage කියන එකෙන් කියන්නේ අපි අපේ company එක කොහොමද competitors ලගේ performance වලට වඩා වැඩියෙන් perform කරන්නේ. Right? How well we are performing better than the competitors. So quality management practices වලින් අපි හැම වෙලේම බලන්නේ quality improve කරලා customer loyalty එක වැඩි කරලා customer satisfaction එක වැඩි කරලා customer trust එක වැඩි කරලා ඊළඟට අපේ customer අපේ company එකේ reputation එක improve කරන්න තමයි අපි හැම වෙලේම try කරන්නේ. So එහෙම වුණාම අනිවාර්යෙන් අපිට competitive advantage එක ගන්න පුළුවන් same industry එකේ කොච්චර competition එකක් තිබුණත්. Right? And then another benefit is maintain the sustainability. So quality management, they usually plays a major role in ensuring that the business practices are sustainable. Right? By focusing on the efficiency and let's say minimizing the waste, so organization can reduce their environmental impact, and then they can improve the resource management. So sustainability practices that actually they not only benefit to the environment, but also they help the organization to maintain long-term profitability as well, while ensuring that they meet the regulatory standards and stay relevant to the changing markets as well. Sustainability, that doesn't mean like, we are maintaining green environment. It is another different concept. Through the sustainability, we are trying to minimize the waste and improve the efficiency while reducing the environmental impact and looking for the organizational long-term profitability while stick to the regulatory standards. That is what we are trying to do on a sustainability. So that can be ensured through the quality management practices as well. Right? Sustainability කියන එකෙන් කියන්නේ company එකේ green environment එකක් හදනවා කියන එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි. Right? Sustainability practices කිව්වම නිකන් company එකේ කොළ පාටට ගස් ගොඩක් වවලා තියෙන එක නෙවෙයි sustainability කියන්නේ. Right? ඒක ලොකු concept එකක්. So sustainability කියන එක achieve කරන්න පුළුවන් quality management practices වලින්. ගොඩක් දුරට. Right? Waste minimize කරලා අපේ environmental impact එක අඩු කරලා මොනවා හරි harmful effect එකක් තියෙනවනේ ඒව අඩු කරලා ඊළඟට අපිට තියෙනවනේ engineering පැත්තට අපිට තියෙනවනේ regulatory standards, ethical standards තියෙනවනේ අපි ඒවට stick වෙලා කොහොමද අපි sustainability කියන එක achieve කරන්න කියන එක තමයි එතනින් කියන්නේ. So quality management practices වලින් අපිට sustainability පැත්තත් achieve කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So those are common benefits or importance of having the quality management. Right? Okay, then let's move on to the dimensions of the quality. So usually we can identify common 8 type of dimensions of quality. Right? I hope you know these dimensions. So it includes the performance, features, reliability, conformance, durability, serviceability, aesthetic, and the perception. Those are the dimensions of quality when it comes to quality management, right? And so here, if I explain you the dimensions, the first one is performance. It refers to product's primary operating characteristics and how successfully a product or service fulfill their stated purpose. So performance means that refers to the primary operating characteristics of our product or service, right? So it is like how well our product does what it is supposed to do. And for an example, let's say in a car, so performance could be include the aspects like engine power and the fuel efficiency or maybe the speed, right? So that is how we are looking for under performance for a smartphone. So the performance might refer to the processing speed of the phone and the camera quality and the battery lifetime, right? So that is what we are looking for under performance if we are referring to a smartphone. So very simply, performance usually tell you how successfully your product fulfill their stated purpose. And it explains whether your product or service meet the customer's core benefits, core needs, core requirements or not. Right? So that is how we are looking for under performance. Then the second one is features. That is another dimension of quality. So under features, it includes the additional characteristics that make the good or service better. Right? So those are the additional characteristics that enhance the product or as the service and make it more desirable to the users. So these are often extra elements, extra features, extra characteristics that go beyond the basic the functionality of the product, right? So under performance, usually we focus on the basic functionality. But when it comes to features, we focus on the additional elements you are adding beyond the basic functionality to your product. For an example, if you take a mobile phone, that might have the features like face recognition and the fingerprint accessibility and the wireless charging, or as let's say you can enhance the camera settings as well. So likewise, we can add more features, right? The additional elements than the basic functionality. Through a mobile phone, the basic functionality is taking, calling and at least sending messages. No, that is the basic purpose, basic functionality, the basic performance we are searching for. So other than that, beyond of that basic functionality, we can add extra elements like the face recognition, fingerprint facilities, and the charging facilities, and so on. We can add additional extra elements. That is what we are looking for on the features. Right? Through the features, actually, we are doing value addition to the customers. Right? We can add more value to the customers while adding more features. Right? That means you always try to provide more user experiences while adding more value to the customer. So then you can easily gain the competitive advantage in the same industry if you add, proper features or good quality features. Then the reliability is there as a dimension of quality. Reliability means that is the probability that a product will operate flawlessly for a given amount of time. So under reliability, what we are referring to is it is the probability that the product will perform flawlessly for a given period of time under the normal operating conditions. And in simple terms, it is about how dependable the product is for a given period of time, right? A reliable product is one that works as expected consistently without having some unexpected failures or unexpected breakdowns, right? In between a certain time period. For an example, let's say some example, you take a washing machine or mobile phone, let's say, if you take a mobile phone, that consistently operates without having some issues or breakdowns, or let's say for years, let's say number of years. So that means you are having high reliability in your mobile phone. So that is actually assessing the number of breakdowns that happens, and we are assessing how frequently breakdown shows in our purchased products, and that refer to the low reliability. If you identify frequent breakdowns and some slow performance in your products, and if you identify some failures, unexpected breakdowns and failures in your products, so it shows that you have low reliability in your product. If you identified that for a certain time period, right, for with the normal operating condition for a certain time period, if you can run the product without having unexpected delays, failures or breakdown, that means your product is having high reliability. Then we have the conformance. That is another factor, another dimension. The extent to which the functioning qualities and the design of the product adhere to the predetermined requirements and the standards. It is same as the quality of conformance that we discussed earlier, right? Conformance, that is the extent to which the functioning qualities and the designing part of the product meet the initial requirements and the standards we had. So this dimension usually focus on whether the product has been made exactly according to the specifications we have, and we can ensure that it adhere to the defined standards or not while referring to the conformance, right? And then we have another 4 dimensions, including durability, serviceability, aesthetic, and the perception. Durability means how long can you use the product before it starts to break down, right? So durability means it refers to how long you can use that particular product before it starts to break down, right? It shows the signs to have some wears and tears. That is how long you can use it without having any issues. So you can measure the product's, the lifetime here. A durable product, they doesn't need to have replacements frequently. So they offer good value for the money after a certain time period. For an example, let's say a durable pair of shoes. So they will last for many years without losing the shape and without losing the functions. So if you are searching for a durable laptop, they can remain the functionality for several years, even with regular use, without having breakdowns, and ensuring that the long-lasting lifetime. That is the durability. And then the serviceability should be there, how quickly and how easily a product can be maintained and repaired. So serviceability means how easy and how speed with a product can be maintained, or product can be repaired if something is going wrong. So products that are easy to repair and easy to maintain provides a better user experiences for the customers, because they reduce the hassle, right? And the cost as well to keep the product in a good working conditions, right? That is the serviceability. And then the aesthetic, that is the product's look, feel, sounds, taste, and the smell, right? Aesthetic means that is how we can see the product. That is like what about the feel, what about the sound, what about the smell of the product, or so on. So basically it focuses on how the product appears to the sense of the human, and also the contribute to the overall user experiences in terms of these 5 things. So this dimension usually include visual aspects such as the color and the designing part and the texture of the product, right? As well as the other sensory features. So we are always looking for the sensory features when it comes to the aesthetic, right? Then the last one is perception. The standing and perception that customers have of the good or service. So perception means how your customers view the quality of the product or is the services based on their experiences and based on the brand reputation. That is how the customers perceive the quality of your product or service in terms of their experiences and in terms of the brand reputation. That is what we mean by perception. Right? අපි මොකක්ද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ? product එකෙන් අපේ expectation එකට අනුව එහෙම නැත්නම් company එකේ reputation එකට brand name එකට අනුව අපි මොන වගේ quality එකක්ද expect කරන්නේ? අපි perceive කරන්නේ මොන වගේ quality එකක්ද? ඒක තමයි අපි perception එකේදී කියන්නේ. Right? So those are the common dimensions of quality, right? And yes, so then moving on to the key principles of quality management. This is actually a detailed lesson, right? The detailed module. Sometimes you feel like boring, but anyways, we have to complete this. So moving on to the key principles of quality management. First one is customer focus one, and the leadership should be there, and the engagement of the people should be there. Those are the main, we can say that those are the main principles of the quality management, right? Shall we take a small break and then start? We have few more slides to complete. So shall we take 5-minute break and then start the rest of the parts? Yeah. Okay, so let's start the lesson then. So, moving on to the key principles of the quality management, we mainly focus on the customers, right? The core benefit, focus of the quality management is understanding the customer needs and also meeting the customer needs. So, this means that we should actively listen to the customers and we should actively gather their feedbacks, and using those information, we can take actions to improve our product or services. So that is why I told you that the customer focus one is one of the major principle of the quality management. So exceeding the customer expectation is just as important, and by not just meeting the basic requirement but going above and beyond the delight stage of the customer satisfaction, we can go here and there and satisfy them. So to do that, we should first listen to the customers, right? A strong customer focus ensures that our organization remains competitive, and also we can ensure that we build the loyalty and we enhance our reputation as well while focusing on the customers, because customers are the major part of our business, right? We always try to listen to them. We always have to gather the information. We always have to look for their feedbacks in order to improve our product and services. Why we do that activities, that practices? In order to understand their requirement and meet the requirements. So then only we can satisfy them and achieve our company's objectives and the goals. Then the leadership should be there. That means the effective leadership is very essential things in creating some, a vision for the organization, right? To create a good path and the direction for the organization, we need to have the effective leadership. So same thing happens when it comes to quality management as well. We need to have effective leadership, because leaders always they establish a clear sense of the purpose, right? Whether it is a project or whether it is a company related activity, quality management, so whatever the activities we are doing, leaders always try to establish a clear sense of the purpose. So, aligning with the team's goals with the organizational objectives, they take some corrective actions to stay, stay on track while aligning on the company's objectives. So they should foster an environment that encourage the employee involvement, and they should take some action to make everyone feel valued and make everyone feel engaged throughout the quality management practices. So I told you that they provide a clear direction. No? So by providing the direction and while motivating the employees and while promoting the culture of this quality, they can help to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goal, right, throughout the quality management practices. So to do that, effective leadership should be there. And the next important thing is engagement of the people. That is a critical aspect of the quality management, to ensure that all employees are competent and all employees are empowered, right? Employee engagement and employee empowerment should be there. So when employees are engaged, they contribute their skills, they contribute their knowledge, and they contribute the creativity to each and every processes we have in terms of the quality management. So that will lead to have better solutions and the innovations as well in the business environment. So the organization need to support the employee development, right? They should provide the necessary training and they should create some opportunities for the employees to participate in decision making as well, right? That is how we get the full engagement of the employees. So engaging employees, engaging people, they usually lead to have higher morale and higher motivation, and also they will have better productivity as well. And they will always try to improve the quality of themselves while improving the quality of the business processes and the manufacturing processes and the organizational quality as well, right? And other than these three main key principles, the recognition and the reward systems should be there. Recognizing and rewarding employees for their contribution is a powerful motivator when it comes to quality management or when it comes to the business world. And we should take some actions to motivate our employees. So through the recognition and the rewarding systems, we can do that. So it fosters a culture of appreciation actually, right? We can encourage the employees to continue performing at their best through the recognition and the rewarding system. So recognition can be both formal recognition and the informal recognitions as well. And the rewards can be like monetary or non-monetary rewards can be given. So when the people feel valued and when the people feel recognized for their effort, they are more likely to stay motivated and they are more likely to stay committed to the organizational quality goals. So that is how we can improve the employee motivation and get the full employee engagement, right? I told you that on the third principle, engagement of the employee should be there. Without having a motivation, we can't get the engagement of the employees, right? To support the employee development, actually we need to develop some recognizing and the rewarding programs to give them value additions. So we should take some actions to feel them valuable for the company, right? To feel them recognized for their certain efforts, right? So then only they will contribute their full efforts and they will contribute their skills and the knowledge and even they will engage with the decision-making activities as well with the creative actions and the creative solutions and the initiatives as well. So those are the common key principles of the quality management. Then moving on to the evolution of the quality management, here you can see it starts with the quality controlling. So it starts with the quality controlling and then move to the quality assurance. Right, start with the quality controlling, then move to the quality assurance. Then in between quality assurance and total quality management, actually we can identify quality management. Right, quality management is there. And then at the end of this evolution process, we can identify total quality management. Right, start with the quality control and the quality assurance. So then we move to the quality management and the total quality management, right? So I will go through this evolution process one by one. So first one is quality control. Early decades saw a shift in emphasis toward quality control with the development of statistical approaches and sophisticated testings and the measurement technologies, and a growing amount of automation and computerized ways to identify high quality manufacturing goods. So, under quality controlling, so in the early decades of the 20th century, so there was a growing focus on the quality controlling, right? As a manufacturing should base to ensure that their products meet the specific standards. So quality controlling usually emphasize the identification of the defects and the inconsistencies through various methods, right? Especially the statistical approaches are used to identify these defects and the inconsistencies throughout their manufacturing process. So during this time, some of the technologies like for testing and for measurement tools or so on used to while allowing the manufacturers to identify high quality products with greater precision and also the low quality products as well, to identify the deviations and inconsistencies and the number of defects. So they used many more testing, statistical testings, and the measurement and the approaches as well, and the quality controlling. And other than that, the automation and the computer system development was done. So they also played a significant role in identify the defects, especially, and also ensuring that the products meet the quality standards. Automated systems and the computerized systems were used. For an example, automated inspection machines were used that could evaluate the quality of the product and more efficiently than the human inspection. We can do the human inspections, but automated machines or automated inspection machines, that process is more efficient than the human inspections, right? So that automation part and the computerized systems were used in these decades under quality controlling. Right, the product testings and the statistical parts were the key components in this early era of this quality control, right? The statistical techniques such as control charts, right? And let's say the sampling techniques, sampling methods were used, allow allowing the business to monitor their production processes and also to identify when the products deviated from their quality standards. They could use these quality charts and different sampling methods and the statistical techniques. So that is what usually happen under quality controlling. Then we move to the second stage of this evolution, that is quality assurance, right? So that is the next phase in the evolution of the quality management process. So where we develop the quality assurance concepts, right? So that shift usually occurs as businesses recognize that quality control alone was not enough to ensure the long-term success. So because of that, they moved to the quality assurance part as well, right? With the quality controlling, they move to the quality assurance. So instead they need to integrate the quality into every aspect of the organization and to have a proactive approach. So they move to the quality assurance part. So in this space, actually, the introduction of the international standards like ISO 9000 series, ISO 14000 series, so they came into the topic in under this quality assurance, right? We will discuss about this quality ISO series and the quality certifications later on in upcoming lessons. So we have a specific small lesson for these ISO certifications. So don't worry about that. We will discuss them later. So anyways, on the quality assurance, the international standards were developed to assure the quality, right? So ISO 9000, if I simply explain you, under ISO 9000 series, they mainly focus on the principles of quality management systems, right? They focus on continuous improvement and the improvement of the management and the controlling processes. So basically it focuses on the quality management systems. So ISO 14000 series, it focuses on the environmental side, but so basically under quality assurance, ISO 9000 series, that the international standards were used. And some of the quality assurance programs were widely spread out as in business world, as they began to recognize the importance of having the management involvement in the quality effort, right? They identified in this area, actually, they identified that research and development should be there and the process documentation part should be there, right? The qualification should be there. Quality assurance standards should be developed. So they identified them and developed those standards and the programs, QA programs, and the process documentation and specific quality related qualifications were introduced in this phase, right? The QA programs usually emphasize the idea that quality should not be the final step in the production. Under quality assurance program, it ensures that, it tells us that quality management or quality is an ongoing process, right? Quality management is an ongoing process, not a one-time effort at the end of this production process, or else it explained that it is not the final step in the production. So, and the process documentations were done, right? Like the quality standards were developed to, while helping the companies to define the specifications they needed to have in order to meet the customer requirement, while ensuring that their processes were consistently being evaluated and consistently being improved. QA standards were developed, right? Some procedures were developed to assure the quality. Right? Quality එක control කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. අපි assure කරන්න ඕනේ quality එක. ඒතර quality assurance කරන්න එක standards, international standards, ISO 9000 වගේ international standards, ගොඩක් QA program, quality assurance programs, අපිට standardize processes identify කරගන්න පුළුවන්. එක quality standards related qualifications අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ දේවල් තමයි quality assurance එකේදී. අපි quality එක assure කරන්න. ඒක one time work එකක් නෙවෙයි. Right? අපි throughout the process quality assurance part එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ. Then after that, the quality management comes into the topic, and then finally, the total quality management is there. So I hope no need to discuss about the quality management as we discuss more. So basically under quality management, some QA manuals, right, outlining the overall quality management systems within the organizations can be developed. And let's say the manual, they typically include the policies, right, the procedures and the responsibilities, right, and different practices related to maintaining the quality within the organization. We can add them on our manuals. The process manuals can be developed, same as the quality assurance part, like the details for the specific processes that need to be followed in order to ensure the quality. And to ensure that they are maintained in day-to-day operations, we can have process manuals. So then everyone can follow the process manuals, QA manuals, and they can stick to the, they can adhere to the processes which are mentioned in the process manuals and the QA manuals. Then QA standards, right, same as the ISO standards and the 14,000 series, ISO 9000 series, so we can use them under quality management to ensure the quality. Right? So those are international standards that focus on the quality management. And also we can ensure that the organization meet the customer requirement. And we can ensure that the organization meet the regulatory requirement as well consistently by referring to the ISO standards, right? Then finally, we have the total quality management. It is actually a comprehensive process, right? This approach is like having the continuous effort, continuous improvement. It focuses on the continuous improvement while focusing on the customer satisfaction more, and while enhancing the employee engagement. Right? To achieve the long-term success, we can implement the total quality management, but to implement the total quality management, we need to have the full engagement of each and every employees within the organization, not only the quality assurance team, right? Most of the companies, they are having quality controlling teams and quality assurance team. So this is not only a responsibility of that certain department, right? Total quality management is a responsibility of each and everyone within the organization. ඒක නිකන් quality assurance team එකේ responsibility එකක් විතරක් නෙවෙයි. Right? TQM, total quality management, එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා TQM කියලා. So TQM එකේදී අපි employees ලගේ engagement, ඒ කියන්නේ company එකේ ඉන්න හැම employee කෙනෙක්ම මේ quality management practices එක්ක engage වෙන්න ඕන. සහ අපි customer focus one තමයි customers ලා economic satisfaction එක තමයි focus කරන්නේ mainly. ඊට අමතරව continuous improvement එක. continuous improvement එක තමයි අපි focus කරන්නේ TQM එකේදී. අනේ factors තුන focus කරන්න ඕනේ TQM total quality management practice කරනවා නම් company එකක් ඇතුලේ. ඒක තනියෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩකුත් නෙවෙයි. quality assurance quality controlling team එක විතරක් කරන වැඩකුත් නෙවෙයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාලගේ immediate supervisor විතරක් කරන්න ඕනේ වැඩකුත් නෙවෙයි. Right? So we will discuss more about the TQM later. Yes. So we have a few. Yes. So I told you that earlier. I told you that the TQM is the modern approach of the quality management. No? So in this evolution process of the quality management, it day by day it developed from the quality controlling and the quality assurance till the modern approach to emphasize the continuous improvement and also to take some data-driven decision making, right? Under total quality management, we mainly deal with the data, right? Without having some personal opinions, without taking some decisions based on our personal views. We mainly focus on the data. We can take data-driven decisions when it comes to total quality management, right? So that will lead to have the maximum efficiency and the productivity at the end of the day, as we mainly deal with the data, not the experiences or personal views. So this TQM and total quality management is like a very effective management approach which focus on the long-term success through the customer satisfaction. That long-term success is going to be achieved through the customer satisfaction under this total quality management, right? It involves every employee in an organization, from top management to the frontline workers, right? Everyone in the organization should take place in these TQM practices, right? From the top management level workers, everyone, all the employees in the organization should involve with these TQM practices, right? And they should work for continuous improvement within their organization. So the main objective of this TQM is to create a better culture where the quality is integrated into each and every processes you have, and everyone is responsible for maintaining the quality and continuously improving the quality. That is the major objective of TQM, right? TQM එකේදී අපේ major objective එක වෙන්නේ company එකේ ඉන්න හැමෝම top level employees ලා සහ operational level employees ලා, like company එකේ 1000 employees ලා work කරනවා නම් top level, middle level, lower level කටි ඔක්කොම ඒ හැමෝම engage වෙන්න ඕනි TQM activities එක, right? and ඒගොල්ලෝ responsible, ඒගොල්ලන්ට responsibility එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එක process එක විතරක් නෙමෙයි. අපි TQM එකේදී එක process එකක් විතරක් නෙමෙයි focus කරන්නේ. අපේ business එකේ හැම process එකක්ම, හැම aspect එකක්ම අපි focus කරනවා. ඒකේ තියෙන quality එක improve කරන්න continuous improvement එකක් තියාගන්න තමයි අපි හැම වෙලෙම try කරන්නේ total quality management එකේදී, right? අපි එක process එකක් focus කරනවා නම් එක responsibility එක අපිට අදාළ department එකට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි total quality management එකේ අපි full organizational process එකම focus කරනවා. හැම process එකක්ම හරි quality එකෙන් හරි standard වලින් continue කරන්න තමයි බලන්නේ අපි TQM එකේදී. So ඒක කරන්න අපි එක level එකක් විතරක් ඒකේ responsibility එක ගත්තට වැඩක් නැහැ, right? top management එකෙන් decision එකක් දුන්නාම පහළ ඉන්න employees එක වැඩ කරන්න නැතුව අතහැරලා දානවා ඒක වැඩක් නැහැ. So the total quality management එකේදී අපේ organization එකේ ඉන්න හැම employee කෙනෙක්ම ඒකේ participate වෙන්න and responsibility එක ගන්න ඕනේ, right? That is the major benefit and major objective of this modern approach called TQM, right? This approach actually mainly focus on the customers, right? A strong customer focus is there, and especially the employee involvement is there. And basically the data-driven analytical part is done, and the process-centered thinking is there under total quality management, right? We use the data for the decision making, not about the experiences, and we don't follow the personal opinions, personal views, personal opinions, personal ideas, and the personal experiences, right? We believe on the data for the decision making when it comes to total quality management. So under TQM, we use many more concepts and the statistical techniques as well to make these, the objectives, to achieve the objectives of the TQM, right? Under this TQM, right, along with the TQM, the Six Sigma and the lean manufacturing is there, right? It is also linked with this TQM, Six Sigma and the lean manufacturing. So Six Sigma, right, for the Six Sigma and this lean manufacturing, right, for all of these three parts, we have separate lessons, right? Just to give you the idea, under Six Sigma, it is also data-driven methodology, which focus on improving the quality of the processes while identifying and removing the causes of the defects. Under Six Sigma, we are trying to minimize the variability, right? That is the main focus on the Six Sigma. So we use some approaches, special approaches like DMA-IC approach, right? And another one is they are called DMA-DV approach, right? So there are so many techniques, especially DMA-IC and DMA-DV approaches. So there are 5 terms in this word, right? Define, measures, analyze, improve, and control by the DMA-IC approach. And when it comes to DMA-DV approach, define, measure, analyze, design, and verification is the other DMA-DV approach. So these type of approaches are used to minimize the variability and to identify the causes of the defects, and we are trying to minimize the defects. We are trying to minimize the variability, right? So that is what we are going to do under Six Sigma. So that is also a good technique which link with the total quality management, right? Under Six Sigma, actually we ensures that zero defect concepts, right? Zero defect concept is there under Six Sigma. That is the main focus, to maintain the zero defect concept. So, I don't know whether you have heard this. Under Six Sigma, we have specific courses as well. Special courses are there. Short courses are there. So under Six Sigma, there are different levels, right? It is like a certifications. If you are working in a for the engineering field, actually it is a good opportunity, especially the workers who are working with operational activities, the production and operational part, they do this Six Sigma, and the workers who are working, who are leading with the lean manufacturing or so on, they follow these Six Sigma courses. So you can obtain the certifications as well, right? That everything we will discuss in detail. But so just to give you the idea, under Six Sigma certification, you can obtain it. Start with this, the white belt, and then yellow belt is there, and the green belt is there, and the black belt is there, and the championship. Likewise, different levels are there. So you can start with the white belt level under Six Sigma, and there are specific courses, but I think the cost of the courses will be a little bit high. Anyways, it is a good value addition for your CVs as well, right? On the first level, the white belt level, we can have the basic functional idea about the Six Sigma, and then moving on to the yellow belt, it is advanced than the white belt. We can identify more theories and the techniques and the practical scenarios. And if we move to the black belts, that is actually a good position. So you can even engage with the Six Sigma projects as well. So it is actually a good certification. So if training program for the professionals. So you can, if you have a free time, you can search for that courses as well. for a value addition actually. And then other than that, we have lean manufacturing. So it is little different than the Six Sigma. So under Six Sigma, we are trying to minimize the variability. When it comes to lean manufacturing, we focus on maximizing the maximizing the value and minimizing the waste. Right? Under lean manufacturing, we are trying to minimize the waste. Under Six Sigma, we are trying to minimize the variability or the defects. Right? When it comes to lean manufacturing, we set some principles to improve the efficiency and add more value, maximize the value, and also minimize the waste. Right? So that is the main target under lean manufacturing. So under lean manufacturing, we have number of techniques, right? Number of concepts. So here I have just pointed out few. Just-in-time concept is there, 5S technology is there, and the Kanban, Kaizen, Pokai, okay? So those are like the Toyota production system related findings. So comes under lean manufacturing. So we will discuss them in detail, right? Just-in-time production, it focus on producing the products that are only, required. So we produce or deliver the products when they are really needed. To reduce the waste and to reduce the inventory cost, we can focus on this just-in-time. අපි manufacture කරලා store කරලා තියන්න just-in-time production method එක follow කරනවා නම්, right? අපිට order එකක් ආවම එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි identify කරාම requirement එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා අන්න ඒ වෙලාවට තමයි අපි manufacturing part එහෙම නැත්නම් produce කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් deliver කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. Sorry. So we can reduce the waste and the inventory and the inventory cost and the unnecessary expenses if we can follow the just-in-time production method. And the 5S is another standardized method in which we can use to organize our workplace, right? 5 steps, 5 standards are there, let's say. So sorting, setting order, shine, standardize, and the sustain. Those are the 5 activities, right? It is a Japanese one. So 5 Japanese terms are there. So the English terms are sorting, setting order, shine, standardize, and the sustaining. So to well organize the workplace and improve the efficiency and to ensure the safety in our workplace, to well organize our workplace, we can follow the 5S standards. Right, and the Kanban and Kaizen systems are there to, working as error proofing, Pokai as well itself. So they work as error proofing and mistake proofing systems and some visual systems to identify the errors and fix the errors. So we will discuss them in detail later. Yes, then we have the quality management systems. So we have quality management systems. So that is actually a formalized system, right? That develop the documents of the policies and the procedures, and we document the responsibilities needed to achieve the effective quality management within the organization. So we form this formalized system, right? So it ensures that the processes are in place to deliver the products and the services that meet both customer expectations and the regulatory requirements as well. It's like a formalized system, which we develop the documentation part and which we document the policies and the procedures and the other responsibilities in terms of the quality management, right? So the main target here is to control and maintain the quality of the product and maintain the quality of the services throughout their lifestyle, the life cycle, right? From designing to the delivering part, throughout the life cycle, we are trying to ensure the quality of the product and the services. That is why we use these quality management systems, right? So key feature of this QMS or quality management system is the documentation is provided, right? QMS documents the roles and the responsibilities, as we earlier discussed, the policies and the procedures involved in the quality management. Everything we do the detailed documentation part, right? So it defines how the task related to the quality controlling will carried out and who is responsible for each and every activity. So it can explain how they will monitor and evaluate it throughout the processes. Likewise, every policies and the procedures can be introduced in detail under this quality management system. So that is also a good benefit for us to maintain the quality and make everyone aware about the quality related policies and the procedures and the respective responsibilities, right? So these are some consequences of the poor quality, right? We discussed more earlier the consequences of the poor quality. But here I have again stated them in terms of the customer related consequences and the operation related consequences and the business related consequences, right? So if we have a look on the customer related consequences, the poor quality products or let's say the poor quality services, they can have some significant negative impact on the customer satisfaction, right? That will be highly affected for the customer, the success of the business as well. So when the customer receive a good or service that do not meet their expectations, or let's say they are defective, so it can lead to have the dissatisfaction. So dissatisfied customers itself, they are less likely to return and may even choose to switch to the other competitors as well, right? So that may result in reducing the sales and loss of customer loyalty. So that is what happened in terms of the customers, right? And in terms of the operational side, operations related consequences, from an operational perspective, poor quality results in time and the money losses, right? So when the products do not meet the specifications or else when they are defective, time must be spent on reworking and fixing the issues. So which lead to have the delays in production schedules and also which lead to have money losses and time losses and the effort losses as well. So employees may be required to redo the task again and again, or the entire batch of the production may need to be discarded, and entire batch of the production may need to be investigated again. So it goes to have downtime in the operations and so many delays happen in the production schedules, right? So that is actually unnecessary waste in terms of the operations. So, I mean, sometimes higher repairing cost can be happen. So that is unnecessary waste, right? And the business related consequences means, so on the broader business level, due to this poor quality and due to these defective items, you may lose your customers. That is the most, the most critical thing, loss of customers, and it may damage the reputation of the company, right? So, and the other thing is it lower the productivity of the entire company, entire business, so which may cause to have money losses and the reputational losses, right? If you lost the customers means you lost your position in the industry. If you lost the customers means you lost your sales. If you lost the customers means you lost your money, right? අපිට customers ලා නැති වෙනවා කියන්නේ ඒ customer loyalty base එක අපිට ආයි ලේසියෙන් හදා ගන්න බෑ. කියන්නේ අපේ loyal customer base එක break down වෙනවා කියන්නේම අපේ company එකට loss එකක්. right? ඒව තමයි මේ poor quality again business related consequences විදිහට අපිට identify කරගන්න පුළුවන්. right? Okay. Then, yes, so these are the challenges in quality management, right? Especially there are many more challenges when it comes to total quality management, but same thing happens in the quality management. There are so many challenges, right? Although it is a good point for the long-term success of any business, due to having some issues, some challenges, we can't achieve the, the exact outcome of this quality management. So major thing is lack of resources. That is the major primary challenge in the quality management, right? Lack of resources. So resources may include both physical assets like the equipment and the raw materials or so on, and as well as we need to have the human resources as well, right? To maintain the quality management and TQM, let's say, we need to have skilled labor force, right? Both human and non-human resources should be there. All required equipment, raw materials, and the human resources, skilled labor force, and the sufficient time also should be there. So time also can be considered as a resource. So when a company doesn't have enough resources to maintain the quality standards, so it can lead to have so many errors and the delays and the inefficiencies in their production process. So that is a challenging environment when it comes to quality management, right? For an example, using outdated machineries or let's say understaffing the departments who are responsible for the quality controlling part. So that can affect the final product's quality, right? If you are having inadequate resources, so that can also result in employee being overworked, right? If you are having understaffing the departments, that means the existing workers may have to work more, right? Overworked, and they may have high stress due to having overwork. So which compromise both their performance and the quality of the product, right? And also the service they provide. If you are not having enough staff to do the responsibility, to take the responsibilities of the quality controlling, right? Let's say, imagine in your department, you need to have 10 employees, but instead of that, you are having only 5 employees. So you can't even put the responsibility for the quality controlling, right? Due to having less number of employees than required. So that may result to have overload, right? In terms of the work, right? Overwork, they have to do overworking, and overtime, they have to do overtimes, right? Although you can pay, but it is a high stressful working environment. So they can compromise, actually, they compromise both their performance here, right? Even they can't meet their required standards and the quality standards of the products. Even they can't meet the daily goals, right? The employees ලට තියනවානේ දවසකට targets තියෙන. අපිට ඕනේ resources ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා අඩුවෙන් තියෙනකොට ඒක human resources වෙන්න පුළුවන්, non-human resources වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට machines 10ක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ තැන machines 2ක් විතර තියෙනවා නම් අපිට හරියට අපේ වැඩේ කරගෙන යන්න බෑ, right? The quality එකක් maintain කරනවා තියා අපිට production process එකවත් කරන්න. ඒතර employees ලත් එහෙමයි. Human resource අපිට 20ක් ඉන්න ඕනි තැනට employees ලා 5-6 දෙනෙක් හිටියොත් එහෙම අපිට හරියට responsibility එකක්වත් assign කරන්න. ඒතර එක employee කෙනෙක්ට responsibilities ගොඩක් එන. ඒ කියන්නේ එක වැඩක්වත් හරියට කරන්න බෑ. Right? The lack of resources is the major challenge in this quality management, right? And then another one is limitations of the quality culture and the staff lack of commitment. Those are another the challenges, right? Quality culture means the limitations for quality culture means the shared values and the shared beliefs and the behaviors within the organization that prioritize the quality in all the aspects of the work. So due to having the limitation in that area, right? We can't effectively practice the quality management. So, however, many organizations struggle with building and maintaining some quality related culture, no? Right? Although we are having good plans, we can't implement it due to having these limitations of the quality culture. We are always struggling with building up this robust quality culture, right? So this can be happen if the quality management is not integrated into the organization's core values, right? If it is seen as a secondary concern, so we can't develop a quality related culture. And the next one is another challenge is staff's lack of commitment, right? For the quality management to be effective, every employee must be committed to achieve the quality related goals. If the staff members are lack commitment to the quality, so they may not take the necessary steps to ensure the high standards, even in their personal works, even in their daily duties. So this lack of commitment can, lead to have some errors, and also they may miss the quality checks. They may miss out the quality standards and the processes. They always searching for shortcuts to complete the works. They don't focus on the quality related things. They're always searching for shortcuts to complete the daily tasks. So they may negatively affect the final products and the quality of the final products, right? So staff commitment is a very important thing when it comes to quality management and the total quality management. So that cannot be successful unless everyone in the organization takes the ownership and the responsibility of their role in the process, right? අපි කොච්චර හොඳ plan එකක් quality management practice එකක් methods අපි use කරත් වැඩක් නැහැ. employees ලා හැම වෙලේම ඒගොල්ලෝගේ duties skip කරලා shortcuts හොයන්න බලනවා නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒ process එකේවත් policies වත් quality standards වත් කිසිම දෙයක් maintain කරන්නේ නැහැ. So employee commitment is a must. So due to having lack of commitment, it may cause to have a challenging environment if you are trying to implement quality management related practices. And then lack of understanding of the customer needs. So that means, in order to deliver the product or service expectation, it is a must to have the deep understanding about the customer requirements. So if the organization face some difficulties in gathering the information, if they are struggling with analyzing the customer feedbacks, that may lead to have challenging environment because they cannot align with the customer preferences or customer demand. If you fail to clearly identify the customer requirement, if you fail to identify the customer requirements, means you can't even develop your design of the products. So lack of understanding of the customer need can result in quality issues, obviously. So as the organization might focus on improving the wrong aspects, or they may overlook the important features that customers care about. So they may miss so many opportunities, right, due to having these difficulties. So අපි හැම වෙලේම customers ලගේ needs wants ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ requirements identify කරගන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම බැරි වුණා. ඒ වගේ difficulties අපි ගොඩක් data gather කරන්න ඕනේ, analyze කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ requirement identify කරලා අපිට නිකන් market එක දිහා බලලා requirement identify කරගන්න බෑ. So එහෙම මොකක් හරි difficulties තියෙන වෙලාවට ඒ වගේ issues තියෙන වෙලාවට අපිට quality management කියන එක challenging environment එකක් වෙනවා. මොකද අපිට හරියට අපේ designing part එකවත් quality of the design කියන තැනවත් අපිට complete කරගන්න බෑ. Right? And the management's lack of commitment is another one, right? Same as the staff's lack of commitment. The management lack of commitment is a big thing, right? Big issue. So their commitment to the quality must start at the top level, right? Usually it starts with the top management. So if the management does not prioritize the quality, so that is a problem, right? If your top management do not focus on the quality, and if they just focus on the money, so you can't achieve these targets, right? Quality related targets. So it becomes more challenging to create a quality related culture within the organization if you fail to get the management commitment, right? Without the leadership, quality management programs are often seen as, unimportant. And the resources may be allocated effectively, may not be allocated resources effectively if your management do not commit to the quality related programs, right? And the planning issues may be there, and the lack of continuous training and the education, that those are another challenging environment, right? The planning issues mean, for the quality management, it requires careful strategic planning, right? අපිට එක simple plan එකක් හදලා quality achieve කරන්න බෑ. We need to have strategic planning to achieve the quality management related goals. So organization may face so many planning issues that cause to have some issues with the quality management practices. So we need to have a strong planning background, and under planning, actually, we had to do the forecasting, we had to develop some realistic timelines, right? We need to assess the risk as well. So if you are having some planning issues, that may include poor risk management, that may include inaccurate forecasting, or sometimes due to having these planning issues, they may set up some unrealistic timelines for the production. So that is not a good thing. That is a challenging one when it comes to quality management. And then the last one is lack of continuous training and education. So to maintain high standards of the quality, employees must receive some ongoing training and the educational programs. But the thing is, many organizations fail to provide these continuous learning opportunities for their staff. Although they are implementing good strategies in terms of the quality, most of them fail to provide these continuous learning opportunities for their staff. That may lead to have some skill gaps in the working environment, and also that may lead to have outdated knowledge. Because day by day, the technologies, the new technologies, let's say the AI, so day by day, the technology is rapidly improving and changing. So if you fail to give the learning, continuous learning opportunity for your staff, so you can identify some skill gaps within the company, and even you can't grab the up-to-date knowledge, up-to-date technologies. Your employees will use outdated knowledge and outdated technologies if you as a top management or as a manager, if you fail to give them a continuous learning opportunities. So the techniques, the tools, and the error-proofing techniques, some latest quality management standards and techniques should be explained to your staff as a continuous training, right? එකපාරක් උගන්වලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Continuously අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ව employees ලව update කරන්න ඕනි quality management techniques. Quality ISO standards උනොත් කාලෙන් කාලෙට ඒවා update වෙනවා. අපිට initially early decades වල තිබුණ quality standards නෙමෙයි දැන් ගොඩක් improve වෙලා තියෙනවා. ISO certification එක go through කරොත් තේරෙනවා කාලෙන් කාලයට ගොඩක් අප්ඩේට් වෙනවා. ඒකට ඔයාලගේ employees ලා quality management practices, standardized techniques ගැන updated නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට quality management කියන එක practice කරන්න බෑ. So those are some common challenges in the quality management, right? Then we have this efficiency and the effectiveness and so on. But if we don't have enough time, I will stop now. So if I go back, so we had a look on the quality itself, and then we mainly identify the quality of design and the quality of conformance. So under quality of design, we identified 8 steps, right? 8 steps were identified. And we discuss about the consequences of the poor quality. And then we discuss about the quality of conformance. And then we move to the quality management. And we discuss few things about the total quality management as well. Then moving on to the management of the quality, we identify 3 steps. And we discuss the importance of the quality management. And mainly we discuss the dimensions of the quality, including 8 dimensions. And then we discussed the key principles of quality management, and the evolution of the quality management was discussed. It usually starts with the quality controlling and then move to the quality assurance. And then the quality management is there. And finally, the total quality management is there. So total quality management, we can identify it as the modern approach of the quality management. And under total quality management, with these modern approaches, Six Sigma and the lean concepts is there. So under Six Sigma, right, if you can remember, we mainly focus on minimizing the variability and minimizing the defects or causes of the defects. And when it comes to lean manufacturing, we are trying to reduce the waste while improving the efficiency. So I told you that under Six Sigma, we have mainly two approaches, like especially we talk about DMA IC, but other than that, we have DMA DV approaches. And moving on to the lean manufacturing, there are many more concepts, but here I have just pointed out few, including just-in-time, 5S, Pokayoke, and the others. Then we talk about the quality management systems and the consequences of poor quality. And finally, we discuss the challenges in quality management. So those are the things we discussed so far. And we have few more things. So next week, I'll try to finish this lesson. So we had to discuss the efficiency and the effectiveness and the goal attainment model and the system resource model in terms of the organizational effectiveness. So any questions up to this point? This module is actually a detailed one, right? So try to, actively participate the lectures, although it includes so many descriptions and, details, right? You may feel boring, but actively participate the lectures. To grab the details and the concepts we are trying to discuss in this module, right? So that is all about the concepts we need to discuss today. Any questions up to this point? I will upload the material. I will share the material via the WhatsApp group. And once, so next week onwards, probably we will run the lectures through LMS once the new intake students were added to the LMS. So we will run the lectures through LMS. So then after we will upload the materials on LMS, same as previous semesters. So, but till then I will share the materials via WhatsApp groups, right? Any questions to this point? No questions? I don't know whether you understood or not. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So I will share this material so then you can refer it again. If you have any questions, you can reach myself, right, via WhatsApp or via emails, right? You can reach myself. Yeah, so that is all about the first chapter. So we will finish this lesson by next week. And yeah, so thank you very much for joining. And if you don't have any questions, we can wrap up the session for today. Yes, so thank you very much and good night. Thank you.